Good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade Starr, and this is How to App on iOS, and it's Season 2, and it's Episode 69. So get your minds out of the toilet for just one moment. Or maybe it's just my mind that's in the toilet. I'm sure that's what it is. Oh yeah. Greetings. Hi everybody. Welcome along for Season 2. And I'm on camera for a change. So I was going to change my assets up, but decided I couldn't be bothered actually. Probably because I've been too busy making music. And because it's Songtember, and that's what it's all been about over the last week for me. So welcome to the show. For those of you who are new, this is, what are we, 5-day-a-week little show that used to run, we say, 20 minutes, but never did. I've dropped that from Season 2, the whole 20 minutes kind of thing, because I don't think I ever did an episode that went for 20 minutes, let's be honest. What we do is we showcase apps that can help you create, be it video, music, photography, anything to help you be creative. So we take a look at apps. At the end of the week, we normally have an interview with somebody who's a creator. And for this month and the start of Season 2, we will be looking at Songtember, and with a sprinkling of apps. That's how it's kind of going to work for at least for September. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll pop over to the chat and to see how everybody is going in the live chat. So Healing Heart, welcome along. Russ, Scott, Pete Johns, who I just spent a little bit of time with over on his show. Thank you for having me over there, Pete. Who else do we have? SM Borthwick, welcome along. Tom Rochelle, great live stream on the weekend too. You really helped me with my walk. We've got, so Pete is an admin here, and Cold Acre, welcome aboard as well, another admin here on the channel. I'm sure I'll tell you a little story. My friend Cold Acre there, he's just got himself a new Mac, and he is making music with me for some projects, and he's had his Mac now for a bit over a month or whatever, and hasn't been able to wangle an audio interface because they're so scarce here in Australia. And he wanted a Steinberg UR22C, and we amazingly got one on the weekend. This company here in Australia got two of them by some amazing chance, two UR22C packs. And I noticed it on their website and messaged him going, call him, man, call him. And he actually scabbed it. So that's pretty damn cool. So we can get to work on doing some projects that we are looking at very soon. So, but let's get into today, because we've got a packed show of stuff I want to talk about with my Songtember stuff and show you what's been going on with it. So if you follow the show, you will know that last week I told everybody that my project was going to be called Manners, and it was going to be this kind of dirgy metal kind of thing with a bunch of old people talking over the top. And that was the idea, and I had some kind of bass lines and stuff like that in my head to do this. But as I started doing the music, the old people thing just wasn't working. I was sitting there going, hello, get off my lawn, and all this kind of stuff, and it just wasn't working. It didn't match what I was doing. And I want to go into, let's look at how these songs have come about. So let's go right to the beginning. So let me just jump into my next screen here. Let's go to my main iPad screen. So let's jump over here. Going to jump into my, I think it's in Audio Tools and Voice Memos. And as you'll see, I have a whole lot of my idea stuff here. Now, I probably started this, let's see, so Thursday looks like the first one. So let's have a look at, now I've been going on my walks every day. Welcome along. I see you slipping in quietly there, Gary Hubs. All right. Now, if you were playing your music, you wouldn't be so quiet, but There we go. So let's start off. Now I go on my walks 4 days a week, 6-kilometer walk, and I started humming along into this app. So what have we got here? Let's have a look at what this is all about. Right, so that is one. That's only one bit of a riff, which is it was in the first song that I did. So what's this one got going on? Okay, so this is when I got home. Okay, so that's where that bit came in. So maybe a few minutes later, and here's what's good about this music memos app. You can just add in drums to your ideas that you're throwing down, especially with a bass line. So this is probably the same riff. With me. Yeah. I think so. Then I moved to my acoustic bass. This is probably a bit. Yeah. Man, I love my acoustic bass. And it was really windy, and I was walking really fast because I do try and push the envelope walking each day. So these were on Thursday. I think they're all pretty much the same, but just different. Oh, this is a different song. I don't think I used this. Let's add some drums to it. So you get the idea of what's going on. So then we got Friday, and there's nothing there. That was a mistake, clearly. Cool, we've had a look at that. So what I then did with one of the ideas, so let's jump into GarageBand and have a look-see at what's going on. What you can do with music memos is then you can import the little rough take you've got and the drums. You can import it directly into GarageBand. And I'm sure, let's see, there would be a My Idea. So I'm guessing it's this one. So this is exactly what happens as soon as you import it in. So it puts the drums in there, it creates a drummer. And the problem with it that I found with this, that I can't continue using it, is when you're playing in music memos, the metronome built into it adapts to your playing. So it never sets a precise BPM for what you record. It's reactive to how you're playing. So if you notice, if I go into the settings here and try to change the tempo, it doesn't let me, because it's automatically going to my bass line here. So I just imported it into here. And you know, I didn't use anything fancy. I was just going straight into my iPhone to create this. So it's a really great way to start out a song and build a palette if you're using music memos. I can't recommend it enough. If you don't have it on your iOS device, get it fucking now, because it's free and it's something that not a lot of people really know about and that Apple have created to make life that little bit easier. So anyway, let's get out of there. Let's have a look at this song. So let's see. It really could use a metronome. You are completely correct, Pete, in the chat. That would be a nice option, but they haven't really updated that app. And you know, who knows with Apple, with their the way they update things. So let's see. What is this song called? It is called No More Lies. And here it is here. So basically, I started out with my... is this the right song? Yeah, this is the right song. Maybe it's not the... I can't even remember. I've been doing 4 songs. All right, so let's go back. This was, I think the song is called, I'm terrible. I think it's called Idiocracy. Let's have a listen and see. Let's just solo the bass line. I've changed the names of the songs. Here we go, here it is. And remember, this started from this one bit that went. And also for this, all these songs have started around bass. I'm sure Davey504 would be very happy to hear that. So, and I've used the same bass sound for all of them. It is just a stock standard, nice definition, which can be found in the bass section, and it's under distortion. And because what this actual amp does, I've used this one for nearly everything that I do in GarageBand. It uses the same kind of sampling as a DI. So you get that kind of DI punch, and you get the valve kind of sound. So I've used that throughout this whole EP. So with this one, let's get out of here. Go away. I've used the auto drummer for this one. So again, what I'm doing here is using the auto drummer for all of the songs just to give me a metronome, because I hate using the metronome. I find I don't keep time with it. And then over this week, I'm getting a brand new drum kit. So then I'll be adding the drums to that. So let's just bring in the drums. So I'm using Anders. And with these songs, I'm keeping it very simple, all right? So they're between 2 to 3 minutes. They have a 3 riff structure, either an intro riff, and then a verse and a chorus, and an outro riff, or either the intro, which is the same thing as the verse, but a variation, then a chorus, a middle section, and then a verse and a chorus out. So those are the variations that I'm doing for these 4 songs. I'm keeping it nice and simple because I'm trying to do 4 songs in a month. There's a few little nods to other bands, and there's a nod to a Pink Floyd song called Astronomy Domain from the very early stuff. There's a nod to that, and a nod to a band I kind of sung with and was recording an album with, but was unable to finish. So I had written some lyrics for them, and I've reused them in one of these songs, and that was from about 2015. So basically, I've added some guitar. All I've done for this track is add a single guitar track. This is the last song I've kind of been working on for the week. So I'll give you a listen to it, and we'll come back to you in a sec. Cool, I'm just going to stop it there because, as you'll see down here, I've added some vocals. Now, these are just ideas that I've put down with na-na-nas, and the song is called Idiocracy. It's about the rise of the stupid, which is happening throughout the world at the moment. People who are like, I do research on YouTube, and I know the lizard people are taking over the world. And Tom Hanks is a leader of a pedophile ring. All those kind of people who follow QAnon. The original song title of this was called Into the Oven, but I changed that because I thought it was a little bit, a little bit off color. The lyrics are still in this song, but instead I decided to name the song Idiocracy after that fantastic movie which came out many years ago, and unfortunately we are heading to that same place of Idiocracy. So these are the na-na-nas that I've added.
It's time to round up all the stupid for the other. Conspiracies that drive everyone insane. Everyone gonna get the bomb down, bomb bear don't get down. You gotta find it, don't get it off the way, yeah, 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 yeah. Get into the other. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now I'm live.
Down, 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 the dead, down, down, the dead, down, dead, down, 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 Gotta stop this stupid. Into the oven. City of the sea. Oh, get into the oven. Idiocracy.
So that one is the one I've worked on the least. Excuse me. Oh, that'll happen when you try and sing at 8:19 in the morning. Sorry, neighbours. Sorry, not sorry. So let's have a look at one of the other songs. So before I do that, let's just have a break away from the music for a moment, because there's so much more to like releasing something like this. You need artwork, of course. And so I want to show you my process so far for the artwork and just talk a little bit about the band name and everything. So let's jump into my Photos app and see what we got here. So I started with this picture here, which I made in Over, which I looked at on the show, on the first episode, and I'm going to be looking at it again to show you how I'm going to put together this album cover. The idea I want for this album, I've called it World Divided. So I'm going for a really bleak kind of tapestry of cutout photos, kind of like a serial killer note, but or like a scrapbook with images of crowds, buildings, corporations, that kind of stuff. And as you can see here, I've taken like pictures of kind of people. This is very rough. I've just slapped this together very quickly, so it's pretty horrible. And I've got these little demons here kind of looking on. I've got a couple of D-Wave computers, and I added these stupid little demons flying around. I have no idea what the hell I was thinking with this, but it gave me an idea so then I moved to this kind of squared off version, cutting out those little demons. But again, looking at this, it's far too bright for what I wanted to do. So I then dulled the color a fair bit just to give it a more gritty kind of look. So that's what I'm going for with this. Now the title of this project, I've decided to call it Metheist, and What is a Metheist? So when people talk about their religion and what they believe in or their spirituality, and people are either theists or atheists, I don't follow either of those things. I instead have decided many years ago to create my own kind of spirituality. Sounds wanky, but I'll explain it quickly to you, and the last rule you'll love. So I'm a Metheist. I try to do the best for myself and take care of myself and give myself time and understanding and give myself a break as much as I can. I'll still be being hard on myself. I have no time to believe in some kind of supernatural being, where instead I choose to believe a God figure is the planet that I walk on, for it is under my feet, and without it I don't exist. So the earth is kind of my God, I guess you can say. I can touch it physically and I can have an impact on it just as it can have an impact on me because of the power and ferocity and beauty of it. The main rule of being a Metheist is don't be a fucking asshole, because there are two types of people in this world. You're either an asshole or you're not. So don't be an asshole. Use common sense. And the final thing of being a Metheist is you can't be one. It's mine. Find your own. So I decided to use that as the title of this because it's uniquely me. It's a word that I haven't seen anybody else use before, and it's going to be easily found in the search algorithms of Apple and Spotify, and there won't be another artist under that name either, because it is so unique. And I struggled a lot with coming up with a name for this because, I wanted it to reflect me, but at the same time kind of reflect the album title of World Divided and the theme of the album of what's going on in the world with everybody being so divided, the rise of misinformation and stuff like that happening, and corporations being in control, and the 1% kind of having a grasp of all of us by our virtual balls per se. So that's where the name of it all came from. And I think it's going to work. The only problem I have with it is that people might read it as Metheist and think it's about meth. So that's a problem. This logo is definitely not set in stone. I'm kind of thinking of taking the first T and lowering this bit so it's like an upside down cross, and then this one put it up a bit higher, so it's almost like a yin and yang of crosses. So, but we'll see. That's all going to come last, but that's a little bit of an insight of how I've come to the name and the idea behind the artwork. This will be much more cluttered, and there is an inspiration behind this artwork too, which is some of the early Napalm Death albums, where they used a lot of chopped together clips and stuff and Carcass. If you're a metalhead, you would kind of know this idea that I'm going for. So I could even just load that up. Let's have a look. Napalm Death album cover. Let's see if I can find it, just to give you an idea of. Here we go. So there we go straight away. Let's click over to images. So here's kind of the idea that I was heading for. So you can see very bleak, black and white, this kind of corporate ownership of people kind of thing. So that's where I was heading. There's probably a few more. Again, you can see with this one, this kind of collage of things. It's going to open up in a new window. So that kind of thing, that's what the inspiration is. Anyway, so we've covered that. Let's jump back into GarageBand. I can show you one of the other tracks here. So this was the first track that I worked on. And the original name for this was Fuck the System. But after, Terrorize is definitely another concept that I'm borrowing from Cold Acre. Thanks for reminding me of that. So this is the first song that I have worked on, and as you can see, it's got the most stuff on it. Like, I've actually done the most work on this particular track. This was the first couple of days that I spent, because I I wanted this song to be the template for everything else that came along. That's a good idea too. SM Borthwick's just written in the chat. Maybe italicize the me so folks know the emphasis. And I was going to either do capitals too, but that'll come. And I'm sure what I may do, I may spend an entire day trying to create, using Procreate to create my own font just for those particular letters. And then really be able to make it my own. So that's probably going to be something I'll do. It could be a show on here. So I've definitely thought of that. But let's jump into this song, because this song was called Fuck the System. But after talking with my flatmate too, and he suggested that, did I really need to put the F word in the title? And at first I was kind of going, of course I do. Because that's me. I'm stubborn and I'm a rebel and I have to. But the more I thought about it, he had a really good point that the song's quite aggressive, and it's the lyrics are sung in it at a point. So I really didn't need to call it that. And the opening line of this song is no more lies. I growl no more lies. So that seems like the title I'm going to go with, just so I don't have to deal with the whole putting stars in the F word on Apple Music and all of that stuff. But let's have a look, because this song was heavily influenced by the bass line. So we'll jump into this. Yep. So I'm going to stop it there straight away, because as you can see, it's got a massive growl at the start, and that line is like, no more lies. And then straight away I'll go into the whole fuck the system. But this will be changed because I've already decided to skip that for the opening line, and I'll just show you what, and I don't have words for the chorus for this first verse, but I have all the other words written. So I'll just show you kind of what I'm going to do instead. I'm kind of borrowing a bit from Tool in a way. I'm going to use a radio effect on the vocal. So let's have a listen. I'll try and do it live. Let's see if I can remember it. Na na na, na 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 na, na na na. Yeah. Na na na, na na na. Na 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 na. Gotta take all the power away from the money in the system. Gotta take all the power away from the greed within the system. Fuck the system. Fuck the lies! No more will we take it! No lies! No more silence! Wake up! So, that's kind of idea of what's going on there. Now, in this middle bit, I I didn't know what to put in the middle of this song, so as I mentioned earlier, I was playing in this, singing for this band Mechanical Black, who are just about to release a brand new album, and I'd written these lyrics and this part for it, which they've just actually released the song, I think a few weeks ago, and used part of my lyrics that I wrote for that song back in 2015, I think it was, but they didn't use the lyrics for this middle section, so I found these lyrics and just thought, oh my God, man, these fit really well. And I wonder if, let's have a look. I think I've got them in my notes. So here they are here. Humanity is a cancer, missing the circuitry for rationality, yet we are the answer to cure the human virus. Humanity has the power to solve a never-ending stupidity, but violence is what we seek, so die by us. So that has become the part I've thrown in here. Let's have a listen. Humanity is the cancer, missing the circuitry for rationality, but we are the answer to cure the human virus. Humanity has the power to solve a never-ending stupidity, but violence is what we seek, so now die by us. So also with this song, it's the only song that I've actually played drums on. I actually use my kit, so you'll see here, I haven't split up the tracks yet, so there's no auto drummer on this one, and it's only a basic drum take. But I'll be redoing those drums once I get my new drum kit, because I'll be able to play the kit a lot better. The problem is with my current kit, sometimes when I hit cymbals and toms, it's not registering. The actual triggers aren't registering in GarageBand. So it's because it's such a cheap kit. So unfortunate, but we have a new one on the way, which was only ordered this morning, and hopefully it'll get here this week. Happy days. So that is the first track on the album. I thought I'd start with this one because it punches you in the face. It's really aggressive and it sets the tone for the rest of the album. Again, I don't really know what to describe the styles because there's a whole bunch of different stuff in there. There's a real kind of Metallica-ish kind of thing in there. I'm kind of borrowing a bit from Faith No More, this Australian band called Christbait, who I love heaps and has been an influence on a lot of the bass lines. Let's get out of there though. Let's have a look at the last two songs, which only this morning I changed the names around. So let's have a look at World Divided first. This was actually called Slaves when I went to bed last night, and the other track I'm going to play was called World Divided. But this morning I woke up, had to listen to them, and was like, you know what? I think this sounds more like a song called World Divided, this one, which I'm about to play for you. Now, I'll be honest, if this is the one. So this one, you'll hear it straight away, and I didn't mean this. It just happened. And this is the beauty of writing songs on a very small time frame, and where you really don't have an idea of where they're going to go. So let's just have a look first at the bass line and the auto drummer, which I've put in here, because I had no idea this song was going to go in the direction it has. So just hearing it like that, it's totally got a different feel than where it is now. And before you know it, it really turned out to have a big Slayer influence. And it's probably because of the notes I chose at the start of the song. And you'll see there's a variation here, and I'm still not sure if I'm keeping these because it reminds me of Dead Skin Mask by Slayer a lot. But at the same time, the reason I have sat on it and gone, you know what, I'm keeping that because it's not Slayer. There's similarities to it, but I don't know where the vocals are going to go yet. So the vocals can take it in a totally different direction. And there's nothing bad with even sounding a little bit like something, because this is such a quick EP and all the songs are hopefully going to have these differences in it. If all the songs sounded like Slayer on this, I'd be more worried about it. But because it's something I'm just throwing together and it's a project, I'll probably end up keeping it. So let's have a listen to it and you'll hear the Slayer influence in it. As soon as I played the first few notes, I was like, oh my God, it sounds like Slayer.
Everybody's running away. No one's alone, yet any other way. All divided, like God they will fall. Now they crumble, now they go. World divided.
So yeah, I'm just making shit up there on the spot and don't really know what I'm going to sing yet. So I've got a middle bit in here, which I added in kind of just to break things up. Where's that? And a breakdown. So that's well divided. That's a title track. Probably going to be track 3 on the EP. And once again, before I jump into... Let's just do it now. Jump into this last one here. So the last one on here is Slaves. Now, remembering, these are all demos at the moment. So, you know, they're not the final takes. The next thing that I'll be doing from here will be getting all the drums down for all of them. That's the focus for this week for me. And once all the drums are down in GarageBand, that's when I'll be splitting them into individual parts, and then I'll be moving them over into Audio Pro, and I'll most likely be doing all the guitar and bass and all of that in Audio Pro. And meanwhile in GarageBand, I will be keeping these demo guitar tracks and everything in here, and then sussing out if I'm going to add some pads, some symphonic stuff, or anything extra. Because I think this song definitely, I think it's this one. I think it's this one. So just to wrap up on this one, this is a odd timing. So I think I've gone for 6/8 timing on this one. Kind of tried to make it a bit of a waltz. Tried to make a metal kind of waltz with this. And I've borrowed, in the middle, there's a section which I've borrowed from an old Pink Floyd song called Astronomy Domain. And you'll probably hear it. So it's a pretty short song. All the songs kind of clock in around 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. So it's a fairly short thing. We're probably looking at 12 minutes all up. And again, so this is Slaves. And again, no vocals here have been written, no lyrics or anything. I just wanted to test myself to get by the end of the week, get to Sunday, 7 days. Oh no, so it was actually 6 days, and have the basic demo for 3 tracks I was actually going for. I ended up with 4. I did the extra one just in case one of them sucked. And who knows, things could change because they change daily. And it could end up only being 3 if one of these doesn't turn out. But so far, I think there's enough to work with. So this is Slaves. Yeah. Don't really know. Look, the beautiful thing about all of these songs is there's plenty of room to do whatever I want. I'm trying to keep a balance of singing and some growling. So I definitely want to not just limit it to the growling kind of stuff, but I definitely want some punch in there with the growling. I definitely am trying to make all of the growling instead of the really deep kind of stuff that's unrecognizable. I'm kind of instead going for a barking kind of growl where, "Whoa, you avoid!" So you can actually hear what I'm enunciating. I want to have some clarity with it. So, I mean, it sounds silly, but I'm trying to create something that is, dare I say it, commercially viable to a degree, that and has some kind of melody behind it instead of my typical stuff, which is just flat out grindcore. I can let you know too, so Cold Acre is here in the chat, and I will be experimenting with this as well over the next few weeks once he gets his new Steinberg audio interface, and I'll be sending these to him to add some color and guitar over the top as well, because I think it'd be really nice to have some fresh ears to add on top of this, because I'm not really a solo player. I've never have been. I'm a rhythm player, and I know he's really fantastic at creating color over the top of stuff because he's a good friend of mine. So I'm really looking forward to hearing where we go with that as well, which you will all be kept up with. So I definitely have. I just looked, I'm like 42 minutes. Damn. But I'm at the end now. So we are here. So that gives you an idea. There was a lot to cover in this, and we definitely won't be covering it on such a level as we progress through the next couple of weeks. So tomorrow I can let you know we are going to be looking at this app here, which is called AU Audio Player. There it is there. Now, Dotech released these 3 apps last week, and I've got them all here. The developer was very kind enough to send me these 2, which are worth about $11 Australian. And tomorrow I'm going to be looking at this lovely app here. It looks simple and basic, but it is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Just to give you a quick sneak peek. So I've got one of my songs here. And what you can do with this, you can import any track. And up the top here, you have these 4 little sections. If you click over here, you can go to your audio effects or AUV3 plugins, and anything you've got installed, you can add in here. So I can add Lux, and it brings up the AUV3 plugin interface here, and it creates its own little interface. And you can close that out and hit play. How do I bring it up? That's how we do it. I can't remember how to do it now. Just double tap. Anyway, we're going to go into it tomorrow. Let's just close on the beautiful thing is you can add 4 AUV3 plugins to this. So if you don't want to mix in something or do a master in something like GarageBand, you've got a very simple interface here. You can add a compression app, you can add some delay, you can add whatever you want, 4 of them, and then you can basically export them and save them as, so you can virtually do a master in this app. And guess what, folks? It is free. So I'm really excited to show you all of the ins and outs of that tomorrow, and that shall be very cool indeed. And my computer just made a funny noise, which is interesting. Cool. So that is the show for today. As usual, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because I do see that half the people who watch the shows aren't subscribed. So make sure you subscribe so you can keep up with what's going on. Like and share if it so pleases you. That would make me very happy and all that stuff. You can catch me over on Facebook. You can go to my website at jadestarr.com.au to hear my music and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for being here in the live chat, everybody. Always awesome to have you on board, and I thank you always for your support. If you're catching on the replay, thank you too. Love you lots as well. But I will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, for the same shit as always. Well, a little bit different because we're in season 2 for episode 70 tomorrow. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope you wish you lots of luck for your Songtember songs, and I can't wait to see the progress over on all the groups that most of us are over at, which you can find links to in the chat, in the description as always. But until tomorrow, stay cool, stay gangster, keep making music, my friends.